Hello, I'm Teacher Robin. Welcome to another live streaming class. If this is your first time to join us, let me explain how the classes work. Today our topic is learning English through modal verbs in songs. So we're going to be looking at different song lyrics and we're going to be focusing on specifically songs that have modal verbs. So if you have a question during the class, feel free to write your question in the comments and I'll be checking your comments as we go along. So if you want to ask a question about modal verbs or if you just want to say hi, where you're joining from, then I'll be happy to read your comments throughout the class. Okay, so how can we learn English with songs? Learning with songs is a really great way to improve your listening and vocabulary skills. So a great way to do this would be to find a song that you like in English and go online, look up the lyrics. You can print them out or look at them on your computer, on your phone, and then read as you're listening to the song. And you can keep a notebook. You can write down the vocabulary that you want to look up later or some expressions or phrases that you don't understand or that you like in particular. And then when you listen to the song again, you can sing along and actually understand what you're singing. So that's the best part of learning English with songs, when you understand the lyrics and you can sing along and enjoy. Okay, so I am going to look at 4 different modal verbs today. So we're going to give you an explanation of the modal verb, when we use them, and then we're going to take a look at the specific song lyrics. Okay, so let's start with the modal verb will. So the modal verb will can express a choice, a request, or an invitation, the intention to do something, or a prediction. Okay, so a song that contains the modal verb will is by Queen. So most people know Queen, and the song is called Love of My Life. So let's look at one part of the lyrics to this song. You will remember when this is blown over and everything's all by the way. When I grow older, I will be there at your side to remind you how I still love you, I still love you. So as you can see in this song, Love of My Life, they use the modal verb will. Okay, so remember, following the modal verb, will, you always have the infinitive here. Okay, so will remember, will be, etc. All right, so let's look at another example of a modal verb. Now we have shall. So this is similar to will, but with a few differences when we use it as a modal verb. Okay, so it can express proposals or suggestions, as well as the willingness to do something, and also a formal request for an opinion or advice. Okay, so let's look at a song with shall. Okay, the song that I've chosen is by Pete Seeger, and it's called We Shall Overcome. Okay, so here we have the chorus is repeated several times, we shall overcome. Okay, so to overcome means like we're going to get past this event. All right, someday, oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. So again, like with will, shall is always followed by an infinitive. So in this case, the infinitive is overcome. All right, the next modal verb, should. Okay, when do we use should? It can express suggestions, advice, and recommendations for someone, a reproach, or an assumption. Okay, so let's see an example with should in a song, a very popular song, an older song by The Clash called Should I Stay or Should I Go? Okay, so let's look at the song. If you say that you are mine, I'll be here till the end of time. So you got to let me know, should I stay or should I go? So here it's like asking a question and also asking for a suggestion, like help me. Okay, I just want to point out one thing that happens often in song lyrics, and that's people do not always use correct English. So this part here, got to, actually is not correct. It's have to. You have to let me know. So keep that in mind, that sometimes if you look at song lyrics, don't assume that they're always correct in English, because sometimes people make grammatical mistakes either on purpose or not. So something to keep in mind. Okay, but this is a good example of the modal verb should. Okay, and our last one is must, which can be used to express a duty or a prohibition, a recommendation, or an assumption. All right, and our last song, is by Coldplay, and the song is called Green Eyes. So this maybe isn't as well known as some of the other Coldplay songs, but it's a good example of the modal verb must. Okay, let's look at the lyrics. And anyone who tried to deny you must be out of their mind. Honey, you should know that I could never go on without you. Okay, so in this case, the modal verb must is making like an assumption, because when they say here, anyone who tried to deny you must be out of their mind, so like must be crazy. Well, we don't really know if that's true, but they're making an assumption. So when we use this must modal verb, we're making an assumption here. Okay, so now that I've given you 4 different modal verbs and 4 examples of song lyrics, I want you to tell me in the comments, do you practice English with songs? And which songs do you like to listen to when you practice English? So write them down in the comments. I look forward to reading them. Obviously, there are so many songs in English, and there are many songs that have specific examples of different grammar points. So if you can think of an example, then feel free. It doesn't have to be modal verbs. It can be something else, the future, the past, present perfect, etc. Feel free to write that in the comments, okay? So as you're doing that, let me tell you a little bit more about our course here at ABBA English. If you do not use the course already, I recommend that you check it out on abbaenglish.com. Okay, so you can find us there. Our course is available on a web version as well as mobile version. Okay, so you can download the app as well. You can take it with you wherever you go. So you can study wherever you are, anywhere, anytime. And our course is based on videos, so each unit has a short film, a video class explaining the grammar, and then you have exercises to cover all of your skills, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So that is all covered in the course. And if you use the app, we also have a feature called Live English, where we have new content, interesting, engaging content that you can check out every day. So I highly recommend that you do that. And in addition to our course and our Live English feature, we are on all of the social media networks. So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We're posting new content on those channels every day. And we have our blog called our ABBA Journal, where you can find articles about all kinds of different topics in English, grammar, travel, English for business, etc. So there are so many ways that you can study with us here at ABBA English. So if you haven't checked them out already, I encourage you to do so. Okay, and I see that several people are writing comments, so I'm just going to give you a few more minutes to do that. Okay, I'm happy to see people participating and that many people are watching this class, so that's really great. I hope that you've learned something about modal verbs, and I hope this encourages you to keep practicing and listen to as many songs as possible. Go online, listen to the radio. If you have Spotify, you could use Spotify, or go on YouTube and listen to songs. So there's so many ways to find different songs in English, and you can enjoy them if you learn the lyrics, okay? Next week, as we are in the month of November, we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving, okay? So a popular American holiday. And I'm going to tell you, as an American, I'm going to tell you about how we celebrate Thanksgiving. So I'm going to give you some useful vocabulary. I'm going to talk about the typical kinds of food that people generally eat on this holiday, and some traditions, so how we like to spend this holiday with our families, okay? So I hope you can tune in, same time next week, all right, for Thanksgiving. So I will get back to your comments later, and if I haven't answered your question during the live class, then I will connect later and answer them in the comments, okay? So keep writing your examples of songs with modal verbs, or just learning English with songs, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed the class. Thank you again for joining, and have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.